Alright, what's up guys? Okay, so I just want to go over really quick. We got this new product in at GZ. This is a heat shrink I've been using now for quite a number of years, and kind of just haven't really talked much about it, and decided that we wanted to make this available for all you guys. I've had great success with it. I really like it. Look, it's nothing. It's nothing new. This material's been around for a very long time. I have yet to see anybody else using it on rigs, but I could be wrong. There could be other people that have come across it. I actually stumbled across it when I was in a metal store looking for key stock that I was using to create these rigs that break away after you get the fish on, and that's a whole nother kettle of fish that we'll dive into another day. But for now, my regular rig, when I use just heat shrink, I like to use this material. Like I said, I just stumbled upon it when I was looking, I was in a specialty metal shop, and I came across it, and it's different. It's way different than any other heat shrink. The first thing you'll notice, I'm holding it, it is stiff. It's almost like a straw. It's really stiff. The other thing about this stuff is it will break, which I like, because if you're fighting a fish for a really long time, it can break at the eye of the hook and allow the hook to free swing instead of being binded by the heat shrink. The other thing is, you'll see once we finish this rig how extremely tight and slippery and smooth it is, and it's got a lot of benefits really, but it is a little difficult to apply, and I just want to show you guys a couple things that I have learned over time, just kind of trial and error, and seem to work for me. And you may come up with some better ideas with applying it too, and shoot us some messages, you know. Like I said, I kind of was doing this on my own, so you know, someone else out there, maybe you've used this stuff, or you start using it and you come up with some different cool ways of applying it or taking it off. So let's see. Basically what I got going on here, I like to use a heat gun. It's just so easy to apply this stuff. I have a pot right here, but you could use a Tupperware container or just have a sink going. I like cold. This was full of ice, so I make the water super cold. I've done probably about 15 rigs already today. That's why this water is a little bit murky. But it's just fresh water, cold. I put ice in it. I just like the pan was big enough for me to get each rig in there, and I didn't have a Tupperware container that I could use. So I'll have that. Got my heat shrink gun. I have a little bit of Dawn soap, and I'll show you what we're gonna use that for. And then another thing here is one of these razor blades. The razor blade, I'm not gonna be using right now, but I just wanted to show you, I found this is the easiest way to get this stuff off. It's not like another heat shrink where you can just kind of cut it right off. It binds down really tight, so you can use this to kind of shave it off, and I found that to be the easiest way, or else it's a pain in the butt to get it off. So let's get this going. So you got a hook rig. Okay, I've already made my rig. If you want to make it easy on yourself, but it can be difficult to figure out your lengths, what is often an easy way to do it is put this on the hook shank, and do this crimp first. Don't do this crimp yet, and slide this as far down as you can, then do this crimp, and then you can just slide it back up, and you're in the go spot right there. You know what I'm saying? But for display purposes and just show you guys how to apply this once you've already made a rig, I'm going to show you that, because that can be where it's difficult, because this stuff is so tight. I've created a rig, standard, you know, make sure it's just standard knowledge. Make sure your eye is facing up like this. Okay, I have seen people rigging stuff like this lately on the internet, and some people, I am not sure if they're doing that strategically or not, but that's not really what you want, because that's what's going to happen, is that your coil memory is now only going to have the option of coming out either side. So you want to have it like this, that way your coil memory can come up over, can come up over. Whereas if you're like this, you're only going to have your coil memory coming this way or this way. So standard rigging knowledge, keep this straight up like this. Little chafe tubing, my one crimp, hard cable, another crimp to the hook, needle eye, yeah, and then we want to apply this. Now, if I were just to try and slide this on here, there's no way you're gonna get that on. This is what we use the Dawn soap for. And there's two ways of doing this. I'm gonna show you a couple ways. So I'll put a drop of Dawn in there. Gonna get it in there and push it around a little bit. Okay, now you can do this where you can go over the top like that, and that's gonna be, I found, a really easy way. And you can just kind of work it and it'll slide over. All right, here's another way you can do it if your loop is too big up here. And this one's good, but you just have to be a little bit careful as you apply it, because you don't want your hook to break through this heat shrink. So again, you got your Dawn soap, put it on your hook like this and just slowly slide it around. And like I said, just be careful that you don't puncture the heat shrink. And it takes a little bit of time here. Take your time. Okay, now I'm kind of kooking it because I'm on camera, but I'm gonna just take my time. I don't want to put it through the heat shrink while I'm live here. And it'll just slide. It'll slide, and then once you get the eye out, okay, so now it's, you know, it's come right around it. Comes real easy. Right through. And she's good to go. Slide up, and now you can notice with the Dawn, it'll just come straight up. And come up to my crimp. Get up there. And there we go. So now you'll notice this is different than other heat shrink. Look, it's already, I haven't even heated this down. It's snug on there, and it's holding my rig very stiff like that, all right? I like that, okay? Now, here's a couple things. I like with this to not put it too far down the shank of the hook. I leave it just about there, maybe a little bit longer, because like I said, if I'm fighting a fish for a super long time, this will break off there and you'll just have that free movement of that loop right there, instead of a heat shrink that's just gonna keep prying all day on that as you're fighting the fish. So I like to do it like that. Again, you know, do how you like. And then here's another thing, after each fish, you know, you might break that. What you can do is you can just cut small. Where'd you go? Get over here, buddy. You can just cut small things like this and have them ready on the boat, you know, a little smaller than this. This one's yellow, and you probably use the blue. And then you can just slide it back over, boom, and just replace that one that was there. Easy enough. So, okay, now on to heating it. Main things to be careful with heating it, don't overheat it. It'll burn, it'll break, it'll like explode off the crimps. So I'll start on one end, and then you just slowly work your way down, and it'll work the air out. You don't want to do this type of stuff with it like you would with other heat shrinks. Start on one end and work your way up. You'll see. Okay, immediately after it's done, I'm gonna pull this as stiff as... All right, guys. Okay, so I threw it in this pan, and here we go. There's your rig. Now look how, that's a Tantrum X hook right there. Look how smooth all this transition is. It's tight right on there, and this stuff is slippery. Hear it? It's like glass. I mean, I love this stuff. And so as you can see, super smooth with the needle eye. There's nothing in the way there. It's just gonna slide right through. It's just a slippery type of shrink, and I love this stuff, you know. And then it keeps it stiff, but you know, look how stiff that rig is. You know, it's still got movement, you know, so it's not gonna affect your your lure movement, but that's a stiff rig right there. So that's how I like to apply it. Like I said, to take it off can be a pain in the butt. I like to use the razor. Give this stuff a go. If you catch fish on it, tag us. Check it out. It's been working for me on my boat now for a while. We've been haven't talked too much about it, or I haven't really shown anybody this heat shrink. So cat's out of the bag now, but go get some, or if you've used it and you know what this stuff is, we'll have it now. So come and grab a bunch and enjoy it. The only other one thing real quick to touch on is I don't have a full piece with me right now, but we have the two colors. You have the blue and the yellow. The yellow one's just a bigger diameter. That's what I would tend to use on a non-needle eye hook, so a ring eye hook. This is what you'll want to use, or if you have a really big rigging or something, use this stuff. It'll shrink down really well also, but I tend to try and use the blue stuff because I like my stuff to be really sleek. But there you go. There it is. Enjoy it. Go catch some fish on this. Catch some blue marlins. And that is the rig.